This is Dennis from TrollingFlies.com and JFairTrollingFlies.com. Today we were on Gold Lake, which is in the northern Sierras at about 6,000, 7,000 feet in elevation. We're here on May 28th. The water temperature is 52, 53 degrees. The fish are shallow, and the browns are around the margins on the edges of the lake. What we were doing today, we were trolling with fly rod, and what's on this fly rod, a fly that did well for us today, was the J-Fair All-Around Best, which can't see it very well here, but it's the yellow one with the orange stripe on the back, but it's really got a neat action underwater, and it's bright day, bright fly. This is one of the gaudiest flies in the whole J-Fair line. And what I was fishing today was a fly line, but I was running a leader, a piece of lead core shooting head, and then backing behind that. That was what I was fishing today on the fly rod. Also, we're fishing today with this traditional J-Fair top line, which is a leader section, half a color of lead core, and 100 feet of floating level fly line. And another one of the flies that was effective for us today, I don't know if we can get a close-up of it or not, is the original J-Fair Special, which was a fly that Jay developed back in the 1980s, and due to the cost of tying it, he dropped it in favor of some other stuff, but it's a pattern that I've brought back. It's got red chenille in the inside that sort of glows through the pearl mylar on there, and it gives a real nice red hue to the fly with a dark brown marabou wing and tail to it. But that caught fish for us today. And the third rig that we did well with was, again, a J-Fair top line, but this was the Tui Chub. Our first fish today came on the Tui Chub, which is an olive over a pearl white body. But the interesting thing that we were experimenting with today was to put a nymph behind the J-Fair trolling fly anywhere from 8 to 16 inches back. But we caught 3 of our browns today on the nymph rather than on the trolling fly itself. And the largest brown today, which was pushing 20 inches, came on the nymph. It did not come on the trolling fly, which was a surprise to me. But we were messing around with it, and 3 of the browns we caught today were caught on the nymph, trailing behind the fly. We tried the action disc earlier in the day, and they didn't seem to want the action disc. We were doing the J-Fair twitch, where we were activating the rod and pulling the fly through the water and letting it pause, pulling and pause, pull and pause, and that was the most effective technique today. We also, on the J-Fair, original J-Fair Special, we did catch a fish with just the rod dragging the fly through the water on that shooting head fly rod system. But most of the fish came doing the J-Fair twitch. Here in Dan Walter's hands are the stomach contents of one of the browns we kept today. There are 2 good-sized minnows in there, and in addition, there's a wasp as well. I think the wasp might explain why the nymphs were so effective today. In this box are 2 of my favorite nymphs. The lower left is a Kerry Special, a traditional British Columbia stillwater pattern, and the upper right is a brown hackle peacock. This fly that we're surging through the water doing the J-Fair twitch is the all-around best, the bright yellow fly with a orange stripe across its back. But what I'd like you to look closely and see is the amount of movement that marabou has when you're just pulling it through the water without manipulating the rod. Point being that, yes, you can manipulate the rod, but just letting it drag through the water is also a real effective technique. Coming up next is a black Kerry Special, and if you look closely, that's being held on by fluorocarbon tippet material. And it's really, really difficult to see that fluorocarbon. It is effective underwater in being invisible or really, really difficult to see. But there's not a lot of movement to the soft hackle on the Carry Special at the speeds we're going, because in this clip, this we're going 2.25 miles an hour, which is a little on the fast side for what I normally do. Normally I'll be fishing more like 1.5, 1.75 miles an hour. But you can get an idea of what kind of movement you can get underwater with these flies and why they are so enticing to the fish. That it really is an effective way to present for trout. If you're looking for more information on how to fish these flies, and particularly places to go and times of the year to be there and what flies I have used, I've written a number of articles on my website at the blog Trolling Fly Chronicles page. But go to trollingflies.com. Thanks for watching this video.